Welcome back to the workbench, and we're still working on the P-51 Metal Earth steel model kit build nightmare. Anyway, so we're still working on this. Where we're at right now, we've got the fuselage done, the cockpit done, the tail part done, the top of the wings done. So we've got something that pretty well looks like, it's looking like an airplane. So we've got that done. We finished up last time working on the underside of the wings, where we actually put the landing gear down. So we've got landing gear. I went ahead and put in we did one, I put in the other one in between episodes. So I got that finished up. So we've got the bottom of the wing and the landing gear, but now what we need to do is add these fuel tanks. And I've gone ahead and pre-clipped everything like I've been doing before. I just went ahead and clipped the pieces out so we don't have to waste time doing that. And I did it in between episodes. And we've got to build these. Let me set this to the side. We've got to build these fuel tanks. There's two of them, of course, one on each side. And let's see, they want us to go, so this is, NE is saying non-engraved side. If you guys can see that, it says NE here, and it's pointing, so non-engraved side, we want it this way. We've got a red dot here. What is that? Does that mean something? The red dot is going to be on the outside. So if we roll, that seems backwards. That seems backwards. If we roll this, because it looks like what we're going to have to do is roll this into what basically is cylindrical. Let me bring the cover back over. You can see, for whatever reason, there's a red dot on these fuel tanks, which is obviously on the outside where you can see it. If I put so this is the engraved side. You can see there's engraved lines all in it, and those engraved lines are just to help fold, help roll it over, as far as I understand. That seems backwards. We have to roll it. We have to roll it this way. That is pointing. It says non-engraved NE. Where's my thing? NE non-engraved silver side, which would be like this. Well, I'm not. It's even oriented that way. Anyways, I'm gonna do it the way that we know we need to do it, because we need that red dot to come to the outside. How am I gonna roll? I guess I'll just use. I think I'm gonna use the paintbrush to try to help roll this kind of over into a cylinder. Is this gonna, so it has to come to a point. It needs to be even smaller. Yeah, it's too big. Wow, this is it just kind of folded. It didn't actually roll. Let me find something. You know what? I'm going to use the back end of one of my files here to try to, okay, I see. We got to kind of go, you got to kind of go on an angle and around, I guess. Let me try this. Man, I don't want to break these pieces. It's so easy to do. It's easy, and if you've watched previous episodes, you've seen where if you over manipulate these pieces, they will actually just break on you. Something like that, I guess. I tried to just kind of pivot on this, this point here, use that as my pivot point, work my way around. But now we got to try to do this one, which is going to be a little more difficult because this other one's in the way now. Oh my goodness. I give it back. Give me my file back. Thank you. So, and there's a tab and a slot. So we've got to somehow make this actual connection, which these do not roll anywhere near the same angle. You know what I should have done? They don't show doing it, but what I should do is this little tab here. I'm going to go ahead and bend it down before I get too far. Let me grab, where my good needle nose? I'm going to bend it down, pre-bend it here. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to now. I can probably do it with the back end of my, yeah, there we go. Just fold that tab down. I think the idea is let's just make the connection. However we get there, let's just make the connection between this tab and the slot that it goes in, and then we can kind of work out the cylindrical shape, or actually it's going to be a conical, a cone, like an ice. We're going to making this into like an ice cream cone. Get in, but the problem is to make this connection here is always easier said than done. It has to be the tab. We've talked about this. There it went. The tab and the slot are basically exactly the same size. There's very little room to work with, and so you got to make sure and really get it lined up. Now I'm going to try to fold that back. What can I? I got to get in there. Do I have something? I'm going to use, I have a file over here that's nice and pointy. I think I can get in there to fold. Which side was the tab? The tab. So I want to fold the tab back that way on itself. I know you can't probably see what I'm doing here, so I'll kind of give you the play-by-play. There it went. It just folded over, folded back on itself, and there we go. Now, that's about the worst looking ice cream cone ever, but I think now that it's made that connection, we can kind of squeeze it more so that this back end is a little rounder. Yeah, I mean, that's something. If we were, if it was a hand grenade, it'd be close enough, right? So let's just go with it. And then I think we just fold, we just fold this kind of round part up to cap off the end, which actually gives us something to kind of work to as far as the front side goes. Let me see if I can, yeah, okay. I can work with that. Now we don't want to, I'm going to leave it. I don't want to manipulate it too much. This right here, see this connection here? I'm telling you right now, if we mess with that too much, this whole thing will just fall off because it'll break right there at that small little connection. Essentially, that connection is basically the same kind of connection you have on these pieces where you just fold them out. So you got to be real careful. Now, it looks like we need to do, we need to do exactly the same thing on the back side. So before I get started this time, I'm going to go ahead and fold this tab in like that. So we have that already done. Let's see. I used this to try to kind of roll. You got to try to roll it because they've got grooves all in it. I'm sure, hopefully you guys can see that. When I tried to do it the first time, it literally just bent on one of those grooves. So you gotta kind of go with it, like move whatever it is you're using to roll, kind of with it around in that fan pattern. At least that's what I'm seeing here. Let's see. Now this one a little harder to mess with because it's the first roll we made is in the way. Okay. We've got to be real careful with that little guy, not to break it off. The little cap that goes on there. And now our tab is not bent over far enough. Let me see. What did I use? I used this to actually do it, didn't I? Let me bend that over some more. There we go. Let's see if that'll make that connection for us. So, I mean, you got to get them exactly lined up, which is not the easiest thing to do in this scenario. Let me see if I can see where we're at. It's even hard to, I lose track of being able to see it. Okay, what we need to do, so our tab is up above, is that side of our slot. Let me see if I can just kind of manipulate that over a little bit. And I think I just felt it go through. Oh, it's right, actually it's right there. It's almost, we almost have it. I think it might have been in the slot and then it popped back out on us. Really not easy. I think I've got it just barely bent over too far now, the tab that is. And just get in there for me. I almost wonder, I mean, how important this tab is, but I guess it does kind of lock it in place at the end of the day. It's right there. It's just not wanting to go in. I'm telling you, if it's just off just a little bit, it will not want to pop into the groove. You got to have them both lined up perfectly. Let me see if I can. Which way? I got to be real careful. I don't want to break any of this stuff off. I think we've got this flattened out too much now too. This needs to, basically what's happening is we've got a, oh, you can't even see. We've got a tab, we've got a slot, and instead of being like this, it's like this. And so I can't get it in. So, and it's hard because you're rolling these pieces like this and they got to come together and they're about the size of nothing. So it really is a chore. I'm amazed that I got the first one so easy. Let me see if I can use the needle nose. I don't know if I'm going to make this happen. We might have to unfold just a little bit, which I don't like doing because I'm scared that it's going to break, kind of over manipulating it. I need to roll this over a little more, I think, in like that, the slot side. Now let's bring the tab back over. Yeah, they're just not. Maybe I can reach in and move the tab a little bit. Not really. I'm thinking about just folding that tab over. And I mean, I don't know how important it really is to have that connection. Otherwise, we might be here all day with me trying to just put one tab into one slot. Yeah, here's what I'm going to do for the sake of time. I'm just going to fold the tab. I think I broke it. So we might not have a choice in the matter of the tab situation. Now there it is. Let me I mean, I'd really like to make the connection. I don't want to cheese it, you know. I just don't know if it's going to happen. At least in this lifetime. I mean, it's really close. I've said it 100 times. I wish I had a magnifying glass. It's so hard to see, especially when it's all the same color. It's all silver, which really makes it hard to see what you're even doing. It all just, for me, it just all blends together the same color. Get in there. I think I felt it pop. Let me see if I can. I don't think it's actually in there. Yeah, it popped right back out. Let me see if I can just round this out a little bit. What do I have? I have the back end of this. We're starting to get a little out of shape. That's the other problem too. You start manipulating it a whole bunch. It gets really out of shape on you and you get so far kind of out of that groove that you're never going to get it to happen. We might just have to go with it. I mean, it's right there on... It's on it. Let me just squeeze. I'm gonna use the needle nose. I'm gonna squeeze that together. It's right there on it. It's just like barely. It's just not making. It's not bad. Oh, actually, it's awful. Let me fold that in. This back side is not right. There we go. I mean, that's not horrible. I don't know. I can deal with it. And I think from there, let's just go and put the rest of this together. What do we do? It looks like now they want us to roll this around. I don't know the easiest way to do that. I guess just try to squeeze it around like so. There's another tab and another slot on this. Let's see if we can actually make this connection happen. This is probably more important. There's an easier way to do this, and you know it. Please let me know. There we go. That went through. Now let me fold this over before we lose that connection there. This is the hard part because when I try to go to push, when I go to try to make this bend over, it crushes the whole piece I'm working with. So you gotta be real careful with that. Just kind of bring all that together. It's almost round. And then what did they want us to do? I think just fold this. This gets a couple folds, I think. It's supposed to go here. And then kind of like, I don't know how you're supposed to do that. Boy, this is just a disaster. Okay. This has been the worst. Oh, wow. That was not a smart thing to do. Now I've bent that completely. Where's my smaller needle nose? Straighten that back out. The problem with this is it doesn't just fold in half. This little piece, it's actually supposed to make a shape like this, squared. I don't know how you're supposed to get, I guess, you know what I could do? I could use, where's my, I could use this to fold around, I think. I can kind of sit this in here and make the fold around. Maybe. I don't think it's really working. That's all. It's like an S, and it's supposed to be straight. Let me see if I can use the needle nose just to kind of straighten this out. Squish it, pull it back over. All right, let's go with it. Let's see if we can make that happen. In fact, let's go ahead and see if we can get it put on the wing. Okay, the wing goes this way. The red dot goes to the front, and it's going to go through here, and then we're going to pull and twist this through these tabs. That is. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, the problem I'm having is our tabs are way off because this did not fold at all like it was supposed to. Oh, it's going to break on me too. I can already feel it. You can feel when you're losing it. These tabs are supposed to be right next to each other, and that just is not the case here. They're on an angle of each other. And this, I really feel like this is going to break. It did. There it went. I knew it was going to break. So let's do this. It's going to go, that one's going to go on that side. So let's just go ahead and put this in. If I can flatten it back out. We'll go into salvage mode here, I think. So this will go in this slot. In fact, let me just grab it with these tweezers. Because we want to have this, in there. It's kind of part of the part of what boxes in the holder for these. I don't know what they're actually called. What holds the tank on. If I can grab it with my left hand and twist that in place like so. And that should stay right there. Yeah, that's nice and tight actually. Let me straighten that out a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and put this one in here. And then hopefully just this one tab will hold it. Let me go this way with it. So let me grab this little guy, if I can, and twist it in place. Okay, and then let me turn. It's pretty loose, isn't it? I mean, if we have to, that's not too. I mean, it's kind of hanging. I mean, I might can pull that a little tighter, actually. Let me see if I can pull that a little tighter. It'd be nice to have both of these holding it, but that, I mean, it breaks. If you manipulate it too much, they just break. There's nothing you can do about it, as far as I can figure. The whole idea is to not mess with them too much. Oh, that's much tighter. Okay, that's holding in place much better. How awful does that look? And we've got both of them. You can. It looks kind of bad back here. I mean, I don't know. What do you have to do? That's the best I could do. What the fun part is we get to do this all again. I don't really want to. In fact, where did it? Oh, here. It's right here. But yeah, we got to do that all again. So that took 18 minutes. Let's see if we can break the record of of 18 minutes. So basically, we just do I think we do the exact same thing. Let me trying to think what I learned from this process here. We definitely, I think, want to fold this over, but fold it nice and over. I still don't know the best way of making this roll. I guess what I'm doing is the best way to do it. I don't know. To try to roll this. And I'm trying to just follow the lines they give us. Maybe I should roll the tabbed side first. I really don't know. Not the tab side. I'm sorry. I should maybe roll I am rolling the tabbed side first. Maybe I should roll the slotted side. I'm not getting that tab rolled over. It's I really don't know. Maybe coming from this side, is that the better? Yeah, probably. Why would you? Now, will that roll into place? I got to get this one in first. Man, it is so hard. But none of this is rounded over like it should be. That's why nothing's lining up. I have flat spots in my ice cream cone here. That first one actually went relatively easy, strangely enough. Can we get that bent over just a little bit? And now I've had trouble with the next two. There, you could hear it. I heard it go. Okay, so let's hold that. Where's my pointy file? Get in there and kind of see if we can't press that in. Oh, it didn't. You know what? I'm gonna go with it. Otherwise, we're gonna be here all day. Actually, that tab just slid over top. I mean, I can give it one more try, just because that's what I do. Yeah, the tab actually slid over top of the slot. I thought it went into the slot. I can see it. I mean, it's right on top of it. The problem is to get it in there. I think the whole idea is the slots here, if you can see, our slot is like this. Let me go this way. The tab wants to go this way, and you're supposed to try to just kind of get it in. Like, you want to go like this, but it's nearly impossible. I think you're supposed to slide it in flat, because when you bend it over, when I have it bent over, then you can't you can't get it up and over in it. Anyways, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm talking about while I'm trying to put this together, but it is definitely a nightmare. If I could just, it's sitting right on top of that, right on top of the slot. Tab and slot are the technical terms I'm using, by the way. I'm just gonna go with it just like this. I mean, that actually doesn't look horrible. That, again, the tab is not actually in the slot. In fact, I think it's just sitting right on top of it. But I think it's gonna hold its shape. And I don't want to over manipulate it and end up breaking it. Where's the back end? I can round this out a little bit. There we go. And I'm gonna go with it just like that. I mean, it's not gonna, I mean, the slot, again, the tab is just sitting on top of it like that, but it's going to hold its shape. There's nothing that's going to keep it. I don't know how important that, I'm going with it. Okay. The decision has been made. I'm cheesing it a little bit. So I'm going to fold this slotted side first, or I don't know if this is considered fold or roll or whatever we're doing here. Let's see what we can, and I think I'm just going to leave that tab straight. And I'm just going to round it over like so. I'm going to do exactly what I just did on the last one. I'm just going to roll the tab just over top of the slot. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life trying to make that happen. We don't have the time. I'm going to get it into a nice, as close to a cone as I can get. Let's see. I don't know the easiest way. Not even necessarily the easiest way. I don't know the best way to do this, because now this guy's in the way, and I don't want to. I could bend it down out of the way, but I'm afraid if I bend it down out of the way and then bend it back up, it's just going to break right off, and I don't want to do that. Kind of like what we saw happen earlier. I think I'm going to go with that right there. I think that's probably as good as we're going to get. If I could just bring this a little bit more, like so, like that. I think that's okay. Are we all happy with that? Is that going to work? Okay, now let's start rolling this over. This connection I actually do want to make, because this does need to probably be held kind of in place, which is much easier connection. It goes right in. There we go. And then now let's fold over our tab, if we can do it without destroying everything. Again, it's kind of tough, because you got to give it pressure, but you don't want to just crush the piece you're already working with here. Okay, I think that's okay. Now let's get something of a can we get something of a round shape going? Just close to round would be nice. The problem is I've got it kind of to a point at the top here. I don't know how to, and I really don't want to break the mounts off. How do let me see. Let me squish from the back side here like so. That kind of, well, if I go straight down on that mount, it won't hurt it. Wow, this one is really... Oh, don't break that, please. I might have to... I guess the other one's kind of like that too, now that I look at it. I don't know if I can really do anything about it. Now, I'm going to try using the file technique. I'm going to put the file here, right on that bin line they have for us, and then try and fold this around the file to give it that thickness. That kind of worked, I think. Now, let's see if we can get us on the wing. It is really hard to get those. So you can... These need to be side by side, so I need to move this one forward. There we go. Okay, but I don't, that's how I broke it last time, so I don't want to do it too much. I mean, it might be easier to break, no, there it went. So it might be easier to break it and do them one at a time. Whoops, it just came, gosh dang it. There it is. Yeah, they're fitting in now. Okay, good. Good. Now, if I can hold it, I'm just going to try to twist them both. Can I twist them both? I don't know, at the same time. Tighten it up. There. That's not very tight. Let's go. Let's try again. There we go. Yeah, that's nice and tight. Let me not bang around this too much. It is just not... The first one actually looks better. I did not get this very round. But I think we're going to have to deal with it. It's not horrible. Doesn't look bad from there. It looks a little worse from this direction, from this angle. Looks okay from that angle. We're not too... I might can try... Again, I don't want to over manipulate things because that's when stuff starts breaking. I think that actually helped a little bit there. Make sure our caps are flat. Okay. I can live with it. I mean, it is what it is. It's not awful. Okay, so that's got these guys done. What do we do now? We got to put this wing on... we got to attach the rest. So what does it want us to do? We've got, what do we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs, and then whatever the heck. Oh, they don't go in slots. They just fold around the wing, it looks like. Is that right? No, the back ones. Okay, the back ones, these two, the two on the back, we have slots that they go in. Oh, look, we've got tabs here also. Where did those go? Those are whole. Oh, so we've got, oh boy, this is going to be fun. So we've got 2 tabs here that are going to go in slots on this wing. We've got 2 tabs here that are going to go up into this wing. And then we've got we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs that are just going to wrap around the wing. Okay. So what we need to do is this, I mean, those tabs we don't have to fold yet, but these, let's see, these guys have to be folded down. Let's make sure I fold them. We want them 90 degrees so that they're going to be lined up with their corresponding, ow, these things are sharp. Just poked the heck out of my finger. And these are, I've got to be so careful. I'm afraid I'm going to break some. I'm so afraid of breaking things. It might be metal, but it's actually pretty fragile. Okay, fold over like that. Those are the only two, those two, and then these two need to be folded because they're going to go into, or these are the 4 that'll go into slots. Again, that's my technical term. So I'm trying to start these bends with the pliers and then kind of finish them with the butt end of the, whatever these things are, tweezers. Okay. Now let's try to make, don't know what the correct order of operation is here, but I'm going to try to just, maybe we'll get real lucky and it'll just like fall right in place. You know what I mean? Like I'll just set it on here and then everything's going to line up. I don't know who I'm kidding, but okay, get in there. There's that's that slot, tab and slot. Come on over here. This is this tab and, yeah, that's in. Now, I wonder if I should, I'm going to go ahead and lock those in place. This might be a bad idea, but I'm going to go ahead and lock these 2 outside ones like this in place. And then try to make the inside tab and slot connections, which are here. Yep, that's that one. So let me push through. Try not to hit our lane. I'm having to really squeeze this to hold it. But I don't want to accidentally squeeze on the landing gear or those fuel cells, because that will not be good. Okay, and that one's through. Okay, which way did I fold that? I want to fold them the same way. Okay, forward. Gosh dang. Yeah. Okay. I'm really having to take and squeeze these 2 wings together to make this happen. And then these tabs are actually holding it. Is that how they're supposed to be? It made the wings really angled down. Are they supposed to be? No. Okay, I just kind of folded them back up. Did I just lose my connections though? No. Okay, so what I need to do, I lost these. There's tabs here. I didn't even realize. Oh, there's connections here. There's tab connections up front I'm going to have to make. So let me manipulate these in. I think I can just, like that one needs to come out a little bit. There it went. Okay. It's kind of amazing how this all just kind of comes together. Okay, let me see if I can squeeze that. But how am I going to squeeze? I have to squeeze it, I think, like this to hold that tab through. Now, can I get, how am I going to fold that over? What am I going to, oh boy. Can I hold it from out here? Yeah. And then can I push it maybe with the file? I'm just trying to push this tab. Oh, I broke my tail. I knew something was going to break doing this. Did that fold over? Yeah, that folded over. I broke the tail off. If you remember right, this had actually broken earlier. I had just kind of glued it in place. I'll have to re-glue it in place, apparently. Okay, now let me see if I can make this connection on this side, which this tab needs to come out. Come on. Is that lined up? Please don't break my... It's so close. There it is. Okay, let me see if I can hold it. I'm trying to hold it inside of it, and then I was able to push it over with this file. Did that get it? I think pretty well. Is that holding? Is that? I wish it would hold. No, it's not holding it. Okay. Let's try again to push this. Fold this tab over nice and tight. Hold this in place. That is not, and it's just not happening, is it? Why am I not getting that to fold over? You can see the tab sticking up right there. I'm going left-handed. Never a good idea for me. I am not ambidextrous in the slightest. Come on. It's amazing how hard these tabs can be to fold. There we go. I don't think the wing is supposed to fold down like that. But okay, now we've got, let's go ahead and just finish this off and then we'll try to manipulate the wing. We got to just fold these around. I'm going to use the back side of the tweezers. We've got 4 tabs and they just fold around like that just to hold this stuff together. Like that. And like that. My straighten out my landing gear doors, these wings. Okay, see they kind of flop. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. They kind of pop into shape a little bit. The wings do. I don't think that's too bad. Okay, and we got out of that with just breaking the tail off. In between episodes, I'll glue this guy back on. This actually happened installing the tail. If you weren't here for a few episodes back, just like where I over manipulated that one piece for the holder of the fuel cell, same thing happened on the tail piece there, and it sits there kind of nice. So I just need to just put some glue in there, some CA or something to hold it. Okay. All right. Let's just set all this aside because that's got that done. I'm okay with that. It actually, I mean, it has, like, there's gap. You can see gap kind of right here. But to be honest with you, on the one, there's gap there on the one on the cover. Whoops. So you can see it. There's gap. They have gap right there on the one on the cover. So I'm not going to sweat it. I guess that's just kind of how it is. Sorry, I set it on the table over here and I'm kind of looking at it and it's like, oh, I got a crooked landing gear, but it's all right. Okay. It is what it is. We've got a few minutes left. I think what we have to do next is the tail landing gear, which this looks like an absolute nightmare, but let's see. I think our piece, we can start this. We're about to run out of time. But let's start. I think this is our piece we want here. Let me orient it. Okay, so this is the painted side. So we want to make sure. Look how tiny this is. It's insane what we have to try to do. Where did it even go? Okay. So we want it this way. We're going to fold, and I'm going to use the edge of this to kind of fold it around again, putting that right in the middle of the 2 folds we're supposed to do. One goes this way, one goes this way, like so. And then somehow we've got to get this little piece, that is the right little piece, the correct little piece. Yes, it has to fold. Oh my goodness, are you... I'm going to start cursing here. It's like, are you kidding me? So this little piece here, if you can see it, I have no idea, but if you can see this little piece out front is going to fold over and then roll around the top side because that's the tire tread. This little piece is going to fold over and wrap around the bottom side. How in all that is holy are you supposed to make that happen? We're going to give it, oh my, what? The wheels have now, what if you know what you need is like really small, if I had a little something I could stick in there to hold, because what's happened is now my wheels have gone, just trying to make that fold, my wheels were lined up and then they went like that. So now we're impossible to, I've got to try to pull this back apart without breaking anything. What you need is what I need is a buck to put in there, just a little thin piece of metal to hold that original bend in place while you try to make the next bend. Maybe I can use the table to try to. How? This is an impossibility. This is not going to happen. I wish it would just fold over. Just fold over. Just do it. I'm destroying. trying to make this tread fold, bend, whatever you want to call it, is destroying the rest of the piece. The original bend I made. Okay, so let me just do it that way and then bend back in place. And then where's the pointy file? I'm just going to kind of try to try to bend it over here. But I got to make enough gap in here. You guys have no idea what I'm doing. I know. There's two pieces I got to have enough gap for that tread piece to fold in between. That makes sense. So I'm going to try to make that gap in there. Get in. Open up for me. Open up. Yeah, that should be fine. Now, roll over. In between those two little pieces, in between those two little tabs, you got to roll in there. There it went. Okay, let's push from this direction here from the top side, I think. I can't even see the piece where it's at anymore. I'm kind of guessing. I have no idea what's going on. It's just a mangle of parts. I've got the tread kind of in there, but I can't get it to fold over. I might, because it's a tight fit, if that makes sense. I can kind of see it there. There it went. I think it started rolling over. There we go. I don't know. Let's see if we can get this bottom tread. I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait for this one to be over. This has been this is very difficult. I don't know if there's guys out there that do these and do them well, but I'm impressed if you do. Everything's gotten out of line, if that makes sense. I don't know how you manipulate one piece without destroying the other part of it. This looks awful. Let's see, I can probably just kind of fold that around. I'm trying to make a round wheel. If I can. Make it as round as possible. I think this might be about as good as it's going to get. I don't know how well you guys can see this little thing. I might could there's a kind of a pokey spot on the tire right there. Well, I think that was probably a bad idea. That was a bad idea. I should have let it be. Can I get these guys back where they go? Oh boy. You try to do one thing and it destroys something else. That's probably, I've got to spread these tabs back apart a little bit here. Like that. But this might be about as good as I'm going to get it. I don't know what you think. It is what it is. And I think we've come to the end of our time, thank God. Let me lay this down there. Tomorrow we'll go ahead and install. We just got to basically make a little box and install our little tail dragger landing gear there. We'll mount it into this piece and then, attach, kind of build out the bottom of the plane, it looks like. And then the props. Yeah, the props and then just a stand. I might build the stand. I might build the stand in between episodes so we won't do that together. We'll just, once we get the prop and everything, we can just set the plane on it. I'm sure it won't be that simple, but we can just set the plane on it and be done. But thanks for joining me today. Thanks for sticking this one out. It's a tough build. Let me pull this back over in frame so you can see kind of where we're at. Let me throw this in the monkey head so I don't lose it, our little landing gear there. We'll try to... was hoping to finish this one up in the next episode. We'll definitely try to. Like I said, I'll build out that frame. Thanks for sticking with me. Hit that like button. Leave me those comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and check the playlist if you've missed any episodes and you want to watch these. Go back to the playlist, check them out. You can see how we got here. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.